I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit.
Today we talk about the female reproductive system, in brackets, human. There's a picture, you see this picture of the female reproductive system, which show us the uterus, the ovary, the uterine tube, the cervix, the vagina, clitoris, labium minus, and labium majus. The female reproductive system, in brackets, or female genital system, contains two main parts: the uterus, which hosts the developing fetus, produces vaginal and uterine secretions, and can pass sperm through the fallopian tubes, and the ovaries, which produce the female egg cells. These parts are internal. The vagina meets the external organs at the vulva, which includes the labia, clitoris, and the urinary meatus. Urinary meatus. The vagina is attached to the uterus through the cervix, while the uterus is attached to the ovaries via the fallopian tubes. At certain intervals, the ovaries release an ovum which passes through the fallopian tube into the uterus. In this transit, it meets with sperm, and a single sperm can enter and merge with the egg, fertilizing it. Corresponding equivalent among males is the male reproductive system. The male. Also hier. During the reproductive process, the egg is not a passive recipient, but rather an active participant in the fertilization process. It releases certain molecules that are essential to guiding the sperm, which allows the surface of the egg to attach to the sperm surface. The egg can then absorb the sperm, and the fertilization begins. The fertilization usually occurs in the oviducts, but can happen in the uterus itself. The zygote will then divide over enough generations of cells to form a blastocyst, which implants itself in the wall of the uterus, where it begins the processes of embryogenesis and morphogenesis. When developed enough to survive outside the womb, the cervix dilates and contractions of the uterus propel the fetus through the birth canal, which is the vagina. The ova are larger than sperm and have formed by the time the time a female is born. Approximately every month, a process of oogenesis matches one ovum to be sent down the fallopian tube attached to its ovary in anticipation of fertilization. If not fertilized, this egg is flushed out of the system through menstruation. It's great, really great. External. See also sex organ. Ich spiele gerne auf dem Sexorgan. I'm playing on the sex organ. The external components include mons pubis, pudendal cleft, labia majora, labia minora, Bartholin's glands. I don't know who Bartholin is, but he have glands. He invented Bartholin's glands. And clitoris. Development. Chromosome characteristics determine the genetic sex of a fetus at conception. This is specifically based on the 23rd pair of chromosomes that is inherited. Since the mother's egg contains an X chromosome and the father's sperm contains either an X or an Y chromosome, it is the male who determines the fetus sex. If the fetus inherits the X chromosome from the father, the fetus will be a female. In this case, testosterone is not made and the Wolffian duct will degrade this. The Müllerian duct will develop into female sex organs. Müllerian duct. I see what you did there. The clitoris is the remnants of the Wolffian duct. On the other hand, if the fetus inherits the Y chromosome from the father, the fetus will be a male. The presence of testosterone will stimulate the Wolffian duct, which will bring out the development of the male sex organs, and the Müllerian duct will degrade the Müllerian duct. Müllerian, eigentlich Müllerian. I see. Oh, yeah, fuck. You know, it's kind of a German word, and the first part of the word, it's a word. It's the German word for trash. You know, Müllerian. It's trash. Trasherian duct will degrade. Yeah, I see. It's the Müllerian duct. It's for the trash, and then there will be a woman. I see. And it's a Y chromosome. I mean, this is a joke. The Y chromosome. Why? I want a boy, but it's a Y chromosome, and now I have a girl, and I have all the problems. Oh no! And it's the Müllerian duct. Yeah, all the problems comes with the trash and. Female genital modification. There are surgical procedures which change the appearance of external female genitalia. Sorry, we got disturbed. I'm very sorry. Female genital modification and female genital mutilation. There are surgical procedures which change the appearance of external female genitalia. And there's also in genitalia, but there's Italia or Italy, it's in the word. And I got a frog in my throat. Clitoral hood reduction. No, please don't. No, clitoral hood reduction, also known as clitoridotomy, is a procedure intended to reposition the protruding clitoris and reduce the length and projection of the clitoral hood. The procedure is indicated in women with mild clitoral enlargement who are unwilling to undergo a formal clitoris reduction. Clitoral hood removal, also known as hoodectomy, is a cosmetic surgery intended to enhance a female's sexual experience. This surgery involves the trimming back of the clitoral hood or a complete clitoris hood removal. Removal of the protective hood allows for more clitoral exposure, which increases sensitivity in the clitoris. This procedure, sometimes called female circumcision, is different from a clitoral excision and is not intended to prevent a woman from experiencing sexual pleasure. Clitoral reduction is indicated to reduce the size of the clitoris. This may be not due to hormonal abnormalities, ingestion of steroids, or birth. Surgery can reduce the glands or the shaft of the clitoris through an outpatient procedure. Female genital mutilation, in brackets, is defined by the United Nations, in brackets UN, and World Health Organization, in brackets WHO, as the complete or partial removal of the female genital organs or any other harmful injury inflicted on them for cultural, religious, or recreational reasons. SGN, also female genital mutilation, has deep roots in historical, religious, and cultural traditions. It has become a topic of debate in the 21st century because most people argue that it is inhumane and unsafe. Feminists argue that it is a form of subjugation of women and gender-based discrimination. Contrary to surgical procedures intended to enhance a woman's sexual experience or her physical appearance, female genital mutilation does not have cosmetic or health benefits and can be harmful to the emotional and physical well-being of those is inflicted upon. This kind of procedure may have complications including, but not limited to, severe bleeding, tetanus, sepsis, urine retention, open sores in the genital area, irreparable tissue damage, potential childbirth complications, infertility, and death. Who could ever imagine death? Death is on the end. I mean, there was bleeding, tetanus, sepsis, urine retention, open sores in the genital area, irreparable tissue damage, potential, but only potential, childbirth complications. But you can cut away the whole clitoris, but childbirth is only potential complicated. infertility, and whatever could be there at last, death. Yeah, maybe you die. You die in 10 seconds. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Death. Okay. Yeah. I just wanna come to an end here sometimes. No, please. The practice of female genital mutilation is common in the western, eastern and northeastern regions of Africa. Africa. It also takes place in some countries in Asia and the Middle East. The mutilation is practiced by some immigrant communities in North America, and Europe. There are 4 types of genital mutilation. Type 1, also known as circumcision or sana, in brackets Arab word meaning tradition. You know, I mean the female genital mutilation or sana is tradition. It's tradition in our house, yeah, to cut off the vagina and all the stuff that hangs outside of the hole from a woman. Yeah, we cut that. We cut that away. It's better. It's tradition. In our house. Yeah, is the excision of the prepuce, which is the fold skin of surrounding the clitoris. Type 2, also known as clitoridectomy. Please come back to me. Clitoridectomy. Yeah, is that? Have I done it right, Mister? Clitoridectomy. Please come back to me. Clitoridectomy. Yeah, that is some kind of a donkey bridge. You know, it's a donkey bridge. Yeah, donkey was. Yeah, I think we know the German word Eselsbrücke. Huh? Clitoridectomy is the excision of the clitoris with partial or total removal of the labia minora, which are the smaller inner folds of the vulva. Type 3, also known as infibulation or pharaonic circumcision, is the excision of part or all of the internal genitalia and stitching or narrowing of the vaginal opening. Type 4, which can include a range of procedures such as piercing. Oh my god, who would ever pierce a vagina? You know. Okay, it's a range of procedures such as piercing, pricking. I mean, you can prick a vagina. Pricking. Burning. I mean, you can burn a vagina too. Scraping. Cutting. All those 1,000 little cuts on a vagina, thanks to borderline personality disorder people. Yeah, it's great. Cutting, burning, scraping, cutting, pricking, piercing, or introduction of corrosive substances into the vagina. introduction of corrosive substances. Oh, really? Type 1 circumcision and type 2 clitoridectomy are the most common forms of FGM, making up about 80% of cases, and type 3 is the most extreme form and makes up about 15%. Type 3 is commonly a practice of choice in several African countries. The risk of FGM includes physical, sexual, psychological, and pregnancy consequences. The procedure is done in a scheduled area in the home, and the child may be blindfolded or allowed to see where it will take place. Once they arrive, the girl is often immobilized on her back with her legs spread apart so that the procedure may be performed. After the procedure is finished, the girl's legs are bound together and left in a secluded area, recover for 40 days. The people who perform the surgical procedure are usually untrained midwives or elderly women, and they more than often use unsterilized razor blades, scissors, knives, broken glass, sharp rocks, and or even their teeth. I have them in my mouth, and yeah, we are talking about the FGM, the clitoridectomy. Yeah, and they the elderly women do it with their teeth. They are biting it off. I mean, it's breakfast. It's breakfast time. Yeah, come on, let me eat your vagina. Yeah, your clitoris. I'm eating it up. How do I do it? I eat it from you. No, I don't brush my teeth before. It's okay. It's okay, because we bind your legs together, and you have fun for 40 days. Maybe it aches a little bit. Lekker breakfast. Or even their teeth. This and the binding of the legs cause infection in the uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries. Research has shown that circumcised women have significantly lower levels of self-esteem as opposed to uncircumcised women. And, history. It is claimed in the Hippocratic writings that both males and females contribute their seed to conception. Otherwise, children would not resemble either or both of their parents. 400 years later, Galen identified the source of female semen as the ovaries in the female reproductive organs. But how the fuck does Galen identified? I mean, it's identified. I identify this, or the female semen, as the ovaries, in the female reproductive system. Please, how does Galen did that? He cut a woman open, and he saw, oh, this is a salmon, yeah, okay, yeah, nice. Oh, ovaries. Oh, man, I did it. I mean, Galen was Jack the Ripper or some kind of diseases of the vagina. Vaginitis is one of the most common infections in the female reproductive system. It is difficult to determine the organism most responsible for vaginitis because it varies from a range of age, sexual activity, and method of microbial identification. Vaginitis is not necessarily a sexually transmitted disease due to many infectious agents that make use of the close proximity to mucous membranes and secretions. Vaginitis is usually diagnosed based on the presence of vaginal discharge, which can have a certain color, odor, or quality. Bacterial vaginosis. Bacterial vaginosis is another common infection in women, but it differs from vaginitis in that there is no inflammation. Organisms known to cause bacterial vaginosis are Mycoplasma hominis, die hominis, and Chlamydia trachomatis. Bacterial vaginosis is not an infection by a single organism, but an overgrowth of multiple colonizing bacteria. Oh, okay. When it differs. It's not from a single organism. An overgrowth of multiple bacteria colonizing. Also wenn mehrere auf dich raufpinkeln, dann wird's halt langsam, dann kannst du Chlamydien kriegen. The diagnosis for bacterial vaginosis is made if 3 of the following 4 criteria are present. Homogeneous thin discharge. 2. A pH of 4.5 in the vagina. Epithelial cells in the vagina with bacteria attached to them, or 4. A fishy odor. A fishy odor. Was ist Odor? Odor. Or a fishy odor. Fishy, please tell me, what is a fishy odor? What is a fucking odor? Is it a smell? A fishy smell? And then you got, oh, that's... Bacterial vaginosis is treated with acetic acid, estrogen, or fermented, what? Fermented milk? Okay, in brackets is then something, but I can't understand it. It has been associated with an increased risk of other genital tract infections. Here, with an increased risk of other genital tract infections such as endometritis. Yeah, and we got yeast infection. Yeast infection is a common cause of vaginal irritation, and according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), at least 75% of adult women have experienced one at least once in their lifetime, a yeast infection. Hey, 75%. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Once in their lifetime, yeast infections are caused by an overgrowth of fungus humungus in the vagina known as candida. Candida, candida, candida. Yeast infections are usually caused by an imbalance of pH in the vagina, which is usually acidic. Other factors such as pregnancy, diabetes, weakened immune system, tight-fitting clothing, or douching can also be a cause. Symptoms of yeast infections include itching, burning, irritation, and a white cottage cheese-like discharge from the vagina. Walter White? A white cottage cheese-like discharge from the vagina. Women have also reported that they experience painful intercourse and urination as well. Taking a sample of the vaginal secretions and placing them under a microscope for evidence of yeast. Yeast? What the fuck is yeast? Can diagnose a yeast infection. Treatment varies from creams that can be applied in or around vaginal area to oral tablets that stop the growth of fungus humungus. No, only fungus. Fungus, yeah, I like it. I like fungus. I like them on my fungus is very lecker. See also no, we have enough clitoropexy, clitoral hood reduction, clitoris hood removal surgery and more. Clitoral hood removal, clitoral reduction and clitoral hood removal. Disease of the vagina. There's other books I can Oogenesis, yeah. I want what's it identifies? I mean, oogenesis, ovogenesis, or oogenesis. Why? Oogenesis. This is the creation of an ovum. Egg cell, in brackets egg cell, I mean eine Eizelle. But it's ovum. Yeah. It is the female form of Game of Thrones, Game 2 Genesis. It is the female form of gametogenesis or game 2 Genesis. The male equivalent is spermatogenesis. I mean, okay, game 2 Genesis, spermatogenesis. It involves the development of the various stages of the immature ovum. Oogenesis in mammals. In mammals, the first part of oogenesis starts in the germinal epithelium, which gives rise to the development of ovarian follicles. the functional unit of the ovary. Oogenesis consists of several sub-processes: oocytogenesis, ootidogenesis, and finally maturation to form an ovum, in brackets oogenesis proper. Folliculogenesis is a separate sub-process that accompanies and supports all three oogenetic sub-processes. Oh, what the hell? No, I don't read that. Fuck off. Oogenesis in non-mammals. Some algae and Oomycetes produce eggs in oogonia. In the brown algae fucus, all 4 egg cells survive. Oogenesis, which is an exception to the rule that generally only one product of female meiosis survives to maturity. In plants, oogenesis occurs inside the female game to feature mitosis. In many plants, such as bryophytes, ferns, gymnosperms, egg cells are formed in archegonia. In flowering plants, the female gametophyte has been reduced to an 8-celled embryo sac within the ovule inside the ovary of the flower. Oogenesis occurs within the embryo sac and leads to the formation of a single egg cell per ovule. In the scaris, the oocytes also not even begin meiosis until the sperm touches it. In contrast to mammals, where meiosis is completed in the estrous cycle. You know the estrous cycle. I drive to work every day with my estrous cycle. Yeah, my estrous cycle. So, and this was part 2 of today's Learning by Doing. I'm glad you here today's. Oh God.
Napalm, son! Nothing else in the world smells like that. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Napalm in the morning. Napalm.